Welcome to Groundwork Foundations, where we build strong foundations for healing, growth, and authenticity. I'm Jess, and today we're diving into a fascinating topic, chakra healing and mental health. I'm here with Angee, a psychotherapist with a passion for integrating holistic wellness into mental health practices. Angee, chakra healing is something that's often misunderstood or dismissed in Western mental health spaces. Can you start by breaking it down for us? What are chakras and why should we care about them?
Absolutely, Jess. So chakras are energy centers in the body, originating from ancient Indian spiritual traditions. While the concept is deeply rooted in Eastern philosophies, we can see its relevance in psychological and somatic healing practices today. So, for instance, in various spiritual traditions, particularly Hinduism and Buddhism, chakras are considered vital energy centers that are located along the spine, and they representing points where subtle energy or prana, which a lot of people might hear that term, it flows through the body and it influences both our physical and spiritual well-being. And the way that they are often depicted, if you've ever seen the images of the person, like the silhouette, and you'll see
Yeah,
the lights on it,
seven
those
of them.
are, hmm?
There's seven of them. Yeah,
Yes.
seven
Yes, there's
different.
seven. Well, technically there's seven. There's actually more, but the other chakras are more of a deeper level that a person can dive into if they choose to. Um, but those lights can be orbs or spinning wheels of energy that, if they're balanced, that creates optimal health and spiritual growth. So with each chakra associated with specific, emotions, colors, bodily functions, and depending on its location on the spine, it's a way of kind of keeping track of it.
Mm-hmm.
um each chakra, like the first one is the root chakra, but it has a Sanskrit name. And the origin of the word chakra itself, it translates to wheel in Sanskrit. And it's reflecting that, like I said, the imagery of the energy points, the little spinning energy. Um, in tantric traditions, within Hinduism, particularly emphasizes the practice of awakening and balancing your chakras. And they do that through meditation, breathing exercises, and different, more specific visualizations. But like you said, there are seven of them. Most commonly, they're discussed, each situated, like I said, in the spine from the base of the body to the crown of the head. So,
Okay.
and it's going to be associated with a different aspect of life. Like the root is about security. So
The
we
base.
can break this down for you.
Yeah, yeah. Let's do that. I would love to know what they all are from the bottom all the way to the tippy top.
Okay. We can do that. And when I give the breakdown, I'll basically just go through them, each one, and I'll give you their associations, but I'll also give you how they may manifest in a mental health form.
Okay. And maybe how what to do when it's imbalanced or if it's blocked.
Okay. We can do that.
Let's go.
All right. So, the first chakra is the root chakra or the Muladhara, and it's about stability and safety. I made some very detailed notes, so bear with me.
Mm.
The location is the base of the spine. The body system that is connected to is your adrenals. It's associated with the color red. So when you see a lot of people doing chakra work, they will focus on the color, and that kind of helps them stay balanced and in the right area for themselves. The element is earth. The ruling planet is Saturn, and the crystals that can be used for the root chakra are hematite, onyx, black tourmaline, bloodstone, and tiger's eye, amongst so many others. I actually have a piece of hematite with me. It's
Ooh.
very shiny and metallic looking, and it has a lot of different properties. So, if you want to check out hematite if you love crystals, because I love crystals.
Mm.
Um, so a balanced chakra, there will be self-mastery, high physical energy. The person is grounded and they're healthy. An unbalanced chakra for the root is you could experience overt materialism, bullying, self-centered behavior, amongst other things. If it's blocked, and that means it is not spinning at all, the energy is just shut off. You might see a person who is emotionally needy, low self-esteem, fearful, self-destructive behaviors. So the way it can manifest is that the person might, struggle with trust in their self or others, as we call it layman's terms, trust issues. He's got trust issues,
Yeah.
which they don't need to be discounted because something has happened for that to go that way. Hard to feel present or connected to the physical world, um, feelings of anxiety, insecurity, fear. Those are a few things. They might have difficulty grounding themselves. And it's often that chakra is related to survival and basic needs, and then problems establishing healthy boundaries with people. So, my affirmation for the root chakra is I am connected to Mother Earth and know the security of being grounded in reality in the moment.
Hmm. So the root chakra is about security, stability, and being grounded is how how the root chakra, how to
It
be,
forms
how to
your
be helpful.
base. It forms your base. That's your foundation. That's where you're starting. Like even with houses or anything, it's your base. So you have to be stable and grounded in order for everything else to level up like you need it to.
Yeah. Okay. So we start there and then work up.
Mhm.
Okay.
You can really work on any area that you choose to, that you need to, because let's say your root is closed, but your sacral chakra is fine, or vice versa. You don't have to start in any particular order. This is about each person's individual journey, their individual experiences.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's very tailored to you.
Okay.
For the root chakra, there are some exercises, then work that you can do. Walking in nature, gardening, which I've been doing a lot of that lately. Yoga, Pilates, dancing, a little mindfulness exercises, therapy, and grounding barefooted
Mm-hmm.
outside. Yes. Stick your feet in some grass, in the dirt. If anything, become a tree hugger. Go find a tree that you're not allergic to and hug it.
I love being in nature.
Yes. Especially this time of year. Everything that wasn't green is turning green now. So it's just beautiful.
Yes. Happy spring, everyone.
Yes. Yes. So the sacral chakra, Svadhisthana, emotions and creativity. This chakra is associated with the nurture, receptivity, and emotions aspect of life. It's located in the lower abdomen between the navel and the genitals.
Mhm.
The color for this chakra is orange. It doesn't specify which orange, whatever orange that you really resonates with you. The body systems for this chakra are the bladder, the circulatory system, sexual and reproductive organs, the prostrate, and the womb. The element for it is water, and the ruling planet for this chakra is Pluto. So, some crystals for this chakra could be, like I said, there's so many of them that people associate with it, but citrine, carnelian, golden topaz, and moonstone. I have my favorite palm stone for carnelian. It's a
Oh, and it's
big one.
orange.
Yes, and it fits right here in my palm.
Wow. Perfect.
Yes, easy to hold. So,
So Tell us more about the sacral chakra. Like, what is the sacral chakra? What is it about? And how do we know it's off?
So when it's balanced, the person is more trusting, they're expressive, they're attuned to their own feelings and needs. And they're that's their creativity center. So they're creative. They're open with it. It flows. If it's unbalanced, they may be emotionally unbalanced, offensive, manipulative, or sexually addictive. And if it's blocked, they tend to be oversensitive or hard on themselves. We're our own worst critics. And they feel guilty for no reason. They could be frigid or impotent. So the manifestations that might be mental or emotional for that might be, again, emotional instability, irritability. They could experience, emotional numbness, detachment, isolation, anxiety, or loneliness. In the sense of detachment, that could be some people who are experiencing dissociative disorders.
Okay.
Um, the affirmation for that I found, there's two of them I found that I like. Um, I am worthy of love and sexual pleasure.
Hmm.
And then who I am is good enough. Because a lot of times, even drawing back from the root as they layer onto each other, we want to be accepted. We want to belong, that sense of belonging. But sometimes we're very hard on ourselves and we don't think that we deserve to belong or that we think no one cares. So there's that. Now, in researching this chakra, I found some actual exercises that are like yoga involved. And I
Mhm.
realized I'm not that flexible. The pelvic rocks or tilts, bound angle pose, pigeon pose. Then you can also do some aromatherapy. Scents that are good for that are citrus, patchouli, or sandalwood. For the sacral chakra, I actually like jasmine.
I love that.
Um, mhm. Then you can utilize affirmations. You can even write your own. You can ground with water, such as the beach, the river, a water park for your own delight, or even your bath. You can incorporate herbs or just do it with the moon cycles, however you want to, but you can ground yourself with water. Breath work, again, meditation, going into yourself is very important. Color therapy with orange, creative expression, art, dancing, and writing.
Hmm. Yeah. And the yoga is maybe you might need to be a little more flexible, or stretch that, those abilities, but some of these other examples are not as intensive.
Yeah, they're not. Do you do yoga, Jess?
I did yoga. I should definitely get back to that at some point. But it's it's not just exercise. It's also a spiritual practice as well.
Okay. Okay.
It is just
Very,
exercise to some of us.
okay. Very intuitive and immersive. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get there one day. I think the best I can do is a downward dog.
I could do a downward dog. I could do some of the warrior pose, but sometimes it's challenging.
Okay. You can have that one. So our next chakra, the third one, is the solar plexus chakra or Manipura, and that one is for confidence and personal power. It is located between the navel and the base of your sternum. So we're kind of in this area.
Yeah, belly.
Yes. And the color for that one is yellow, beautiful yellow.
Mm.
The body systems that it's attached to are the digestive system, muscles, pancreas, and the adrenals. The element for this one is fire, and its ruling planet, it actually has two, Mars and the Sun.
Okay.
So the crystals for this one are yellow citrine, aventurine quartz, malachite, and calcite, which for my birthday yesterday, I bought me a pretty piece of malachite.
Oh, wow. It's very polished. Love it.
Yes, I love all of them. I get lost in crystal stores.
Mm.
So for this chakra to look at it and know, okay, it's balanced. It you respect others and yourself. Your personal power is there. You just know it's there. You have it and you're in control. That person is spontaneous, uninhibited, strong sense of self, clarity of mind, and makes decisions with ease, purpose, direction. And they feel capable. They don't have that defeatist mindset.
Right. The
If
self-esteem
it's
is there.
Oh yeah, like the confidence, everything that is there, it's okay, I can do this. I've got this.
Mhm.
Um, when it's unbalanced, people tend to be angry, controlling, workaholics, judgmental, and have a superiority complex, maybe.
Mhm.
Um, for when it's blocked, they might be overly concerned with what others think, fearful of being alone. The insecurities show. And they need that constant reassurance. It might be great, and they still need someone else to talk to them and say it's good. So that external validation. So the mental or emotional manifestations for that one would be again insecurity, low self-esteem, self-doubt, feelings of worthlessness, um, fear of failure and criticism, which a lot of us experience that. And it tends to stop us from doing what we need to do.
Totally. What do we do
Um,
about this?
we're gonna get there. They might even experience a little procrastination and indecisiveness too. Um,
Mm.
and guilty. So affirmations for this chakra. My personal power is becoming stronger each day.
Mm.
This is a good affirmation to do mirror work with as well.
Okay. What is mirror work?
So what I have my clients do sometimes is to stand in the mirror and face themselves. Oh, sorry, the sun is setting. Stand in the mirror, face themselves, and talk to themselves the way that they would talk to somebody else. You would think, oh, there's nobody in the room with me. This shouldn't be that bad. But sometimes looking yourself in the eye is difficult for people.
Hmm.
They're not used to being seen and they're not used to their voices being heard. And so, actually facing themselves, they struggle with it. But as they continue to practice and push through, it gets better. And the affirmations that they're using become more ingrained in them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, you start with yourself and then you work your way out to the rest of the world.
Mm.
You have to
Yeah.
heal yourself first. um, so the chakra exercises and stuff that go with this, as you just mentioned, the warrior pose 1 and 2, the locust, the mountain, boat, plank, twisting pose, and chair. I
Mm.
think I can do a mountain.
Okay.
I ain't sure about the rest of that stuff. We're gonna try it. And then pranayama breathwork techniques, meditations, affirmations, incorporating the color yellow into your environment. So again, some more color therapy and journaling. And then again, um, using a professional to help you process the emotions that are coming about or the source of them.
For sure.
So we were talking a little earlier, and you asked me about the heart chakra. What was your question? I don't recall.
My question is, what is the difference between the sacral and the heart chakras? Because the sacral chakra deals with um, sexual energies and creativity. The heart chakra deals with love. And I feel like some of us may confuse lust, like this, the sexual energy for love.
Now, with the sexual energy, I'll just use this as a sidebar to it. It doesn't always necessarily have to be actual sex. A better word for that would be sensuality.
Sensuality. Okay.
hmm because you can do things that involve uplifting yourself and feeling a certain way. You go with the flow.
Hmm.
So it's more of a craving for self, if that makes sense.
Okay. Okay.
It's about how you're feeling. Are you exuding the sexuality like you want it, like that, just dripping that sensuality that I am, you know, that level of confidence there?
And going back to the sacral chakra, um, I wonder, so would you say that that's connected to creativity?
Mhm. All forms of energy in us can be expressed in different ways creatively, whether it's anger, whether it's sensuality, whether it's sadness. You can be creative with all of it, but you have to unlock it.
Hmm.
You have to know how to channel it to bring about something tangible.
Okay. So far we've covered the root, we've covered the sacral, we've covered the solar plexus,
So
and
let's
the fourth
dive
one.
into that heart. That's the heart chakra, anahata, love and connection. That one is located in the center of your chest where your heart is, and it is associated with the color green, but also pink. The body system, of course, is your heart, your chest, your lungs, circulation, thymus. So all of the things that are kind of in this region.
Okay.
The element is air, and the ruling planet is Venus, henceforth love. The
Mm.
crystals are rose quartz, watermelon tourmaline, emerald, and jade, amongst others. Now, I do have a huge chunk of rose quartz.
Oh.
That could be a little dangerous if I chunk it at somebody, but I try not to. Um, so when it's balanced, the person is compassionate, they can love unconditionally, they're capable of nurturing, and they desire a spiritual experience in lovemaking, not just a contact, but an actual experience.
Yeah.
When it's unbalanced, people can be possessive. They love conditionally, like it comes with so many rules to get their love. Withholds emotionally to punish, and they're overly dramatic. Now, if it's blocked, they can fear rejection. They might love too much. They might feel unworthy to receive love themselves, and they find themselves in a self pitying state. They don't know how to actually practice proper self care and self love. Mental emotional manifestations for this are difficulty with intimacy. They may
Mm.
not even have the confidence to be intimate, or it may be attached to some form of trauma. And so they look at it as more of a duty as opposed to an experience that is to benefit both people.
Yeah.
Um, they have problems with forgiveness, self love is difficult, and they might experience being lonely, jealous, resentful. They even have issues with, forming deep connections, codependency, and they are validation seekers.
So what can cause this chakra, the heart chakra, to be blocked or out of whack?
That is, again, our life experiences.
Mhm.
And that's where coping skills come in for each one of these chakras. It's how you go about healing.
Okay.
You have to learn how to take care of you, because the way that Jess may take care of Jess is going to be different than how Angee operates.
Mm.
What might feed your soul or your energy levels to replenish, it may be different for me. You know, you might look at the root chakra and say, "Oh, you know, I'm gonna do some yoga." I might look at you and say, "Yeah, I'd rather go hug a tree." And people might say, "Oh, that's dumb." It's everybody's path is different. So
Yeah.
these are just a starting point for a lot of people, because
Mm.
you have different sources that will outline the chakras in different ways. One of my favorite books that I actually love to use, I always have books around me, is the Chakra Healing book by Liz Simpson.
Okay.
This book will even outline archetypes for the chakras. It helps you set up altars, if that's something you want to do,
Mm.
that resonate with each chakra that are tuned to you.
Okay.
So that can help you go through that process a little bit more. You might put certain things on the altar that you set up because they can, it doesn't have to be huge, something small. You could put for instance, green, a green cloth. You might have um, a green crystal or something that is associated with the heart. You might have a picture or something. Maybe there's a picture of someone that you love, or maybe it's a version of yourself that you want to get back to. Like, the way you set your altar up is how it works for you.
And it's a place to where you can practice your like
Affirmations.
spiritual life.
You might listen to music that helps you to calm and focus and think about the like what it's connected to. This one is love and connection. So you might focus on, I need to love myself. Then that's what you're working on. Or maybe you're saying, I need to be more connected to other people. How do I get there? Or where did it break down? That is a moment that you may sit there with candles. You might try candle scrying or gazing. And you're
Mm,
staring into the candle to help you meditate and focus on that particular subject.
I see.
This is all a state of being for a person and how what they make of it. Um, the affirmation, I found two for this one. I am grateful for all the love that is in my life. I love myself for who I am and the potential within me. That to me was like extremely powerful. I love myself for who I am and the potential within me. I can't live my life for anybody else. I have to live for me.
That's
And
right.
if I'm going to love myself, I have to do what I love, not what the next person loves. I have to be authentically me. I have to
Mm,
learn to accept me and realize that my flaws, as some people might view them, are just simply who I am. Now, if it's something I can heal or something that I can elevate from, great. But at the end of the day, I have to accept and love me. I can't expect the rest of everyone else to do it if I'm not willing to do it myself.
mm. Yeah, at the end of the day, we are responsible and um, accountable to how we treat ourselves. If, other people can love us, but how are we to accept it if we cannot first show that love to ourselves?
Right. So we have some exercises for this chakra. Focus on cultivating compassion, forgiveness. And it doesn't necessarily mean you have to forgive somebody in their face and, hey, I forgive you, blah, blah, blah. No. It can really be a distant forgiveness. And it doesn't mean you forget.
It doesn't
Emotion.
excuse bad behavior. It doesn't excuse the bad behavior of others.
Yes, it does not excuse the harm that they did or, the disregard because you may be looking for an apology or whatever, and they may never give it. So at that stage, the forgiveness is not for them. It is more of a letting go so that you can heal and move forward and not let that anchor you. Um, the person can work on emotional well-being, however that looks for them. And they can do visualizations, such as like the green light radiating out of the heart and just, engulfing them or, you know, focus on their breathing. Diaphragmatic breathing. We did an episode on that once.
Yes.
Various yoga positions like the candle, the cobra, the puppy dog. You can do gratitude practices.
Mm.
Um, and you can forgive yourself and others, though. Allow yourself to feel and express emotions, whether they're negative or positive, as you might view them. It's all how somebody views it.
That's right.
And you don't have to, express those emotions in a destructive way. you find the right emotional outlet for you so that you can let your emotions flow and acknowledge them and you're not suppressing it.
Mm.
So, what I'm going to do is take a quick little break and then we will come back and pick up on this, okay?
Okay, 3 more to go.
Yes, and then we'll have a few more discussions to go with it and we'll wrap it up.
Sounds good.